throwback, in my opinion, to the Attitude Era days, because said trash can that was being used to beat upon Logan Knight got placed on Logan Knight. And they were taking turns just beating him up in the trash can, and it was great.
That's like definitely.
Really? I was gonna say apparently there's some kind of football game going on tonight, huh?
Thaddeus and Elise, they owe me and Malia dinner now, so get ready.
W right there.
So this sounds like it's a pretty solid
Raw. We appreciate all you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, and it was a great Raw. Like it was, I kind of took a break from wrestling for a little bit, but I started getting into it again this like Thanksgiving, and
of course everybody knows. As everybody knows, we've got BCW Wild Horses in Wilson, Texas coming up on February 3rd. And in preparation for that, next week, live on the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast, we will have the one, the only, Exodus Prime as our special guest. AEW star.
Again, table. There will possibly be a table there that might or might not have something to do with the match. Come out and see us. I want to say thank you again to everybody in the chat. Thank you to the boys for being here tonight. I want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for being here. With these guys every time.
We're there.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if he's watching live, but I spoke with Scar a little earlier today, and I know he's going to be watching the podcast a little later on. He's doing a little training right now. But there you heard it, Scar. He said he's going to break out of it. Like live on the podcast. He said he can break out of your podcast or break out of your bear hug. So when you see it,
clip it.
When you see this now, you know what he looks like.
I'm curious because I'm like, how are they gonna make someone? Because all the promos they've done to build him up, I'm like, the way that Sammy's been taking shots for Roman Reigns, the only real shot he's given back is a shot with the chair, and then he just got mollywopped. He's never been the guy who just comes out and messes people up.
What do you get?
And can overpower Roman Reigns. What?
What do you get?
Wally mopped, obviously.
And even beat him. Sorry to say, but he's a legend. But to be the best, you must beat the best, And I feel like I can beat him. So Chavo, I'm calling you out. I said, come on.
There it is. Chavo Guerrero. Right there. You heard it. Emilio Guzman calling you out, and I'm not gonna lie. Love Chavo to death, but Team Emilio right here. That's where I have to go.
Yeah. So
all right. So it looks like we're having a couple of issues.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Oh, there we go. Now we got some.
Told you, I'm adulting better than him already.
All right, Hunter, say ass.
What?
Say ass.
No.
You're an adult. Come on, don't be scared.
You're an adult. You can say ass now.
No.
See, he's been a good boy. So are we seeing a shift to all your heavyweight stuff on Raw and your high flying luchador stuff on SmackDown?
I can tell you that is charcuterie because Ricochet is on Raw. Okay.
It's not shark.
That is a bunch of charcuterie.
All right.
Well, yeah. With that, we're at. We need to talk about that.
Tickle.
That's how the saying goes.
What? Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Tickle, tickle. I think, Rick, if be concerned if he ever comes to you talking about tickle. Just
Hey,
I don't. All right. I'm not sure what's going on there.
At the hour and a half mark, I think we've gotten a little.
The news we received yesterday of the passing of Terry Funk is one that hits all of us, especially us here in West Texas, really, really hard. Terry Funk was a legend in every sense of the word. He is the reason West Texas wrestling is what it is. Hardcore legend, a legend outside the ring. There's
stuff.
So you had a B+ on Raw, B- on SmackDown, had a B+ and a B. You want to know what show got an absolute S plus in my opinion?
S.C.P. That's the one.
That's right. Squared Circle Pros Tornado Slam. What a show. From start to finish. Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast, the final night of our week-long run-up to Squared Circle Pros Tornado Slam. I am the one and only, the tutorial boss. I am your host, Guapo. With me, the man himself, Rick Elsey. Rick, what's up, man?
Hey, it's good to be here. Did you almost forget your name?
Almost. It's been a long day. All like 48 hours of it.
I get it. It has been a long day. It's been a long week.
It
It's
has.
been a long week. I love these week run-ups to the show. I like everybody getting to talk about their matches and stuff like that, even though sometimes you have on unsavory individuals like Nolan Phillips and Charlie 50. I guess that jury's out on Paula. So,
We're still waiting to see about Paula, how that's going to work out.
well, it is what it is. Here's the funny thing. And I'll just small tangent.
Okay.
Paula came back to S.C.P. and she was involved with the Fate International stuff, and not great people she's hanging around. And she just like hooks back up with Ryan, and Ryan, it much in the vein of wrestling baby faces. Ryan just like, sure, come on, let's go. So it's like, look, have you watched how many times Sting got screwed over in WCW because he just said, okay,
Well, we've got a hell of a show coming up tomorrow. I'm excited for it. Tornado Slam. We've been talking about it all week. Before we get into the card, want to go ahead and put some thank yous out there. Want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12. Got my Labor 12 merch rocking. They give us our intro, outro music. Tracks called Head Rush, albums called Monsters. You can get it anywhere you get streaming music, and I suggest that you do because it's amazing. I want to say thank you to Joe and the guys from American Legacy for helping us out with our merch. We've got our hats, we've got our skull caps, we've got our beanies, and we will have all of the above at the show tomorrow night. So if you need some Not Your Average Mark merch, we got you taken care of. So thank you to American Legacy for that. Big thank you to J-Rebs 3D Printing, my boy Cameron hooking us up. Send us these light boxes. And as you can see behind me, they are badass. That's the word for them. So if there's anything if you've got a logo, you've got something that you want 3D printed into something like that, Squared Circle Pro logo, I'm saying.
Get on it, Cameron.
Okay, there you got it, Cameron. We're already looking at a Squared Circle Pro. He's the man to do it, and you can get a hold of him on Facebook, or you can go to jrebs3dprinting.com, get it set up that way. And then lastly, I want to say a big thank you to heckyeahradio.com. Just this week, TJ got a hold of me. There's a button if you go to heckyeahradio.com that says Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. So if you miss an episode of the show, you can go to heckyeahradio.com, click that button, and catch the audio version. And I just want to say a huge thank you to TJ, to you, Rick, to heckyeahradio.com for letting us be a part of their system.
And you need to also get on to American Legacy and let them know that I need a 6X of Click All the Things t-shirt.
So that's, you guys can let us know what you think about it in the chat, but that's the plan for our shirts. You're going to have the Not Your Average Mark logo right there on the front, and on the back, it's going to say click all the things.
On the back, it should have the like, subscribe. It should have the Twitch logo. It should have the Facebook logo. It should have all the platforms, and it should say underneath it, click all the things.
We're going to make it happen. We're going to make that happen. Want to say thank you to everybody that's joining us tonight. I'm looking over at the chat. I see BCW Texas. Mikey, what's up, man? Cameron, of course, in there. ABQ Baby Girl, glad you could be here tonight. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good show tonight. It's going to be a off the chain show tomorrow, and let's dive right into it, man. Let's talk about this card.
Let's get into context and perspectives, and let's talk about this card, because I've listened to all these people talk about it all week. So now let's put everything into perspective.
Let's do it.
Where would you like to start?
Well, the first match I had is one that's been changed. It started off with the real deal Noby Bryant, certified go-getter Draven Reeves. Of course, Noby Bryant having some issues, not going to be able to be at the show, so certified go-getter gets to go against a mystery opponent.
Well, it's not a mystery, because I'm going to break the news here tonight.
I do love breaking news.
So Noby got a hold of me this week. Noby's a great dude. He's a good guy. This weekend is a big graduation weekend for a lot of people in a lot of different places. And he's got a niece that he absolutely had to be there for. And I absolutely told him, do not worry about it. Go do what you got to do. Because family first.
Absolutely. And congrats to his niece.
Noby will be back at Headlocks and Heat Waves on July 20th. And I am going to announce his opponent tomorrow night at Tornado Slam.
Sweet.
Because it's a big one.
Really? Okay.
It's a big one. Yeah.
See, starting off the show with, we're going to give you good stuff.
So let's talk about Draven Reeves' opponent.
Okay.
This is a young man who trained up in Colorado at Primo's. His name is Logan White. And he's looking for an opportunity, and he's going to get one.
Okay, so we've got Draven Reeves going against Logan White. I'll tell you now, I'm not sure about Logan White, just finding out about this, so I'm not sure what he's like in the ring. I do know what Draven Reeves is like in the ring. And Draven Reeves has earned his name of the certified go-getter. That kid has got zero quit.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see how Logan White stands up against Draven Reeves. It's going to be a good match.
I watched some tape. He's a quick one. He's a flyer.
Okay.
He also likes to get dirty a little bit. He's one of those guys that likes to put his body on the line, so to speak. So it should be an interesting bout for Draven.
It's a Jeff Hardy kind of situation there.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, that one already guaranteed to be a good match. Our next one I'm showing on the list, handicap tag match. Living Proof Justin Taylor going up against the Midnight Rider, Marquise Jackson, and Nate Collins. The animosity, I've talked about it all week. Like, when you think of Justin Taylor, you don't think of angry, you don't think of animosity, you don't think of any of that, but he is tagged with both of these guys. Both of these guys have turned on him. So what do you if you're Justin Taylor, how do you approach this?
Well, I tried very hard to counsel Justin when he asked for this. I asked him if he was positive that he wanted this, and he said that he was. And I told him it didn't sound like the best of ideas, but he's pretty pissed off. And one thing about Justin is like the king of motivation. He is a very cool customer. Okay. He's a very cool customer, but even the coolest and most calm of us has a breaking point. And
Absolutely.
Justin has reached his, and he is very much throwing caution to the wind.
We've got some talk about it over here in the chat. Daddy Boss 74 want to know what Paula's take on him is.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
ABQ Baby Girl saying don't trust anyone. DTA is just as valid today as it was when Austin said it 30 years ago. It is completely valid, so I agree with you. We've got Mike in the chat saying Justin is turning into the Sting of West Texas.
These guys at some point are going to have to figure out they cannot approach these situations from here.
Yep,
They
it's got to
have
be from here.
From here. And
Yep.
Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of these competitors that can think here. They always think from here first.
Very
and
true.
it's the only people that are thinking from here are the ones that are forcing the other ones to act from here. So, I mean,
it's a valid point. So
it should be good.
It is going to be. I've never seen Justin Taylor be in a match that wasn't a good match. And that's not saying anything against Marquise Jackson or Nate Collins, because they are performers. They're the definition of performers.
Yeah.
They get in there and they're ready to fight. So it's going to be a great match.
Yeah, it will be.
Now, the next match we're going to talk about is one that I love this style of match, and that is our 6-pack challenge for the #1 contendership for the Squared Circle Pro Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view Championship.
Well, here's the reason why this match came about. Brian Rivera earned the match that he's having with Chris Watson when he forced Watson to submit in Boricua Warfare. Anytime you can catch a fall on a champion in a non-title situation, it immediately vaults you to the #1 contendership. So Brian has his match, and we'll hit more on that in a minute. But we have to determine the next challenger, whether it's going to be Watson facing him or whether we'll have a new champion facing them. One way or the other, there has to be a new challenger. So there's 6 people who have stepped up. Now, we have JC Bravo, who is a founding father of S.C.P. He was involved in the very first match in 2011 that we ever had. Wily veteran, 2-time S.C.P. champion. You can never, ever, ever count JC Bravo out of anything.
Oh, no.
So that right there, being in the match, puts everybody else on the defense. Now you've got Tino Valentino, wildly popular, champion in numerous other regional promotions, completely capable of pulling this out. Tino is one of those guys that as soon as you see his name on a card, you're like, well, I gotta see that, because Tino is a performer. Okay,
he is that.
You have 2 other guys in this match who have personal issues with one another, but are definitely they're definitely in that range of their career where one of them needs to take another step. They need to take the next step, and that's Diablo Blanco and Baby Samoa.
Right.
So you got them, and then you've got 2 people who are making their debuts at SCP. You've got Kalel Santana and Hondro Zuma. So you've got, look at the range here. We got a personal blood feud involved in the middle of it. You got one of the most popular and best wrestlers in the area, a wily veteran of West Texas wrestling, and 2 unknowns. So the field is wide open.
It is. And that's what I love about this. And just to kind of cover for anybody that doesn't know how a 6-pack challenge works, we're going to start out with 3 people drawn at random. As soon as one of those people is eliminated via pinfall or submission,
count out, DQ, ref's decision, however it happens, somebody's gone, somebody else is coming in.
Right, and we'll continue that until all 6 people have made their way to the ring. We're down to 1 person, and that 1 person is the new #1 contender for the Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view Championship.
That is correct. That is correct.
I love this kind of match, man. There's so much that can happen, and as you said, the field is wide open. So this one's going to be a good one. I can't wait for that one.
The six-pack challenges have gotten good responses. And so this is going to be a match that we will probably be utilizing moving forward for this specific championship. Anytime we need to name a new number one contender, it's probably going to be in the six-pack challenge because it's gotten a great reaction from the fans. They like the match. I think it's very unpredictable. So I think it's something that we're going to utilize from here on in.
And the unpredictability of it is what I love about it. We'll go ahead and move on to our next match, and I've got to give my hats off to our women's GM Medusa for putting this match together. We started off with a triple threat: Trophy Case Nikki Chase, Stormy Renee, the Rebel Ruby Devlin. A great match just in that.
Yes.
But with Nova Phoenix unable to make it to the show, we have a returning SOS. What do we do with her? Well, we make it a four-way, but not just any four-way. We are having a women's four-way elimination fatale. And the first time I said that, I got the comment, what the hell is an elimination fatale? And I'm glad they asked. Each one of these ladies has to be eliminated twice in order to win this, whoever's the last one standing wins. But in order to be eliminated, you have to be eliminated twice. And there's never been a match quite like that in Squared Circle Pro. I was reading over here what was written. There's never been a Squared Circle Pro match quite like that. So I know you're in contact with Medusa. How did that come about?
We had Nova Phoenix set to face SOS in a singles match. Nova Phoenix had something happen. She had a conflict, couldn't be here. SOS didn't have an opponent, and rather instead of reaching out to find somebody else, we already had that triple. So we went ahead and added SOS to the triple, and it was Medusa's idea to do the double elimination. We've never had there's never been a match in the 13 going on 14 years of SCP where we've had a double elimination in a match. So this is the first time. And each of these girls is going to have a decision, and it can be pinfall, submission, count out, DQ. There's going to have to be a decision against each girl twice.
And each of these girls just absolutely awesome in their own. Nikki Chase, she's been turning heads since she showed up. Like she is a talent. There's no question about that. Top tier. Stormy Renee, the one time I've seen her in the Squared Circle Pro ring, she did a great job. And since then, we've seen her go up against AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm. Mm-hmm. We saw her in the War Room for the Monday Night Draft on Raw. I mean, she's been moving around. She's all over Oklahoma, Kansas, that area. She's become a very dominant figure in her own right. Now she's ready to bring that to Squared Circle Pro. Mm-hmm. Ruby Devlin is like, I've watched some of her film. She can go, man.
She can. She's kind of the wild card in this match, because Nikki Chase is she's known to the crowd. Stormy Renee is known. SOS is returning. She's not. Our crowd's never seen Ruby Devlin, so she is 100% a wild card in this match. It should be interesting to see, how she interacts with the other girls. I know SOS is coming in here with something to prove. Mm-hmm. Stormy Renee's had one outing. Nikki Chase has had two. Everybody in this match has a reason to want to move forward.
Oh, so absolutely.
There's a lot of stakes involved in this match.
And I'll say this, if the crowd has never seen Ruby Devlin, they're in for a treat. If the films I've watched on her or any kind of show of it, they're in for a treat. It's going to be a hell of a match.
Yes.
We've got I don't know if I'd call it a grudge match, or at least I wouldn't have until I watched the Los Carnales promo earlier today. But Emilio Guzman going up against Bobby Venom. Bobby Venom, of course, coming back at spring break, making his return after 2 years to go up against Nobi Bryant, who we talked about earlier. And it was a great match. Like it was awesome. But Emilio's out to prove things. And this new vicious, aggressive side of him, I mean, it's crazy to watch.
I think that Emilio is absolutely capable of pulling this out. Bobby Venom, he's coming back to show everybody that maybe that self-imposed retirement happened too soon. Bobby is a former S.C.P champion. Emilio has never accomplished that. So, I mean, this is a situation where I think, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but I think the underdog in this match is Emilio. Because Emilio is Emilio has an attitude issue right now. That is apparent.
Call it that.
And I don't want to bring up, old stuff, but I kind of called that last year. So
you did.
Nobody wanted to come along with it. Nobody wanted to come along with it, but I'm a pretty good judge of people. So Emilio's got some issues, and he's running his mouth and he's getting all in his thing. Bobby Venom is liable to just sit back and let you self-destruct, and then as soon as you make the wrong move, that might be it. That might be it.
And Bobby Venom completely capable of doing that too. Like, for watching him at spring break, for somebody that had been gone for 2 years, who had been away from the ring completely for 2 years, it's like he'd never stepped away. Like, normally you see, a little bit of ring rust or something. It's like he never stepped away. He was back in his area.
His nickname says it all. He's a gladiator.
He's the gladiator, absolutely.
You know what he used to do in his full-time job?
I do not.
He was a CO at Rikers in New York.
Oh wow!
so he knows how to crack some skulls.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, it'll be interesting to see if Emilio does self-destruct the way you're talking about, or if that aggression that he's got gets the better of Bobby Venom. I'll be interested to watch that one.
Yeah.
Let's get into the Squared Circle Pro Texas Tag Team Tournament. We're in round 2 of this tournament.
And we have there are 6 teams remaining from the first round. You have Code and Los Crudos are the ones who got the bye to the second round. The teams that were left standing walking into the second round were the Russell Twins, Art of Royalty, The Riot, and Downfall Cathedral. But when you put the brackets together, in the first round, we had 2 different brackets that ended in non-decisions. And unfortunately, for the others like Code and them who have to wrestle, Los Crudos lucked out, and their bracket gave them yet another bye.
Which I'm sure they gladly accepted.
And they gladly took it. They gladly took it. And here's the thing. They're going to be in the building tomorrow. But they've told me that they plan to sit and do commentary during these tag matches so that they can scout any potential opponents for the semifinals. And that is perfectly well within their right to do.
I don't know about letting sauce on a hot mic.
Now, Downfall Cathedral also should have received the bye, but they said no. We came to work. We came to work.
That's my boys.
They actually tried to get us to just go ahead because the way that the brackets are set up, if Downfall Cathedral beats their opponents, the Canadian Pitbulls, which were gracious enough to accept the invitation to come in and wrestle Downfall Cathedral, if Downfall Cathedral gets past the Canadian Pitbulls, they will face the team of the winners of the Russell Twins and Code in the semifinals. Los Crudos will face the winners of Art of Royalty and the Riot in the semifinals. So, there's going to be a lot to be decided tomorrow.
There is, and it's three great matches. Like you said, we've got Code going against the Russell Twins. Mikey saying, "Ooh, Code." No love lost there between Mikey and Logan Knight.
No.
I think he's kind of wanting to throw a rock at that spotlight.
Maybe Mike could do color commentary during Code's match.
See, there you go. I will say this about Code. Of course, talking about Code, that's a Smooth Criminal, Rob Boris, the Spotlight, Logan Knight. I don't always like the way they win their matches, but they win their matches, and there's something to be said about that. So having them go up against the Russell Twins, I mean, the Russell Twins are going to have to step their game up a little bit to be prepared for some of the skullduggery and shenanigans that come along with going up against a team like Code. But the one time I've seen the Russell Twins, I was so damn impressed. Yeah. Like pure energy out of the curtain, in the ring, back through the curtain.
It is just my opinion. I have no inside information to this statement that I'm about to make at all. But just off of what I've seen and the amount of tape that I've watched, I will be the most surprised person in the world if by the end of the year, if the Russell Twins aren't signed somewhere.
I'll agree with that.
Because Absolutely. They are phenomenal.
They are. I was so impressed that, like I said, I've only seen them once live. I've seen plenty of I've seen them on YouTube, seen plenty of their matches. I've only got the chance to see them once live, and I was so impressed by them.
Oh, yeah.
And, them, knocking Rob Boris down a few times is not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just going to put that out there.
Look, what about, do you have any idea the amount of potatoes that are going to be served during the Riot and Art of Royalty?
See, and that was the next one I'm going to talk about. These are big guys. Like all of these guys, all four of these guys are big dudes. So this is just going to be it's the battle of the powerhouses, man.
When the graphics were being made for the matches, I almost demanded that match be called the Potato Factory. Just because it's like, that's gonna be rough.
It's
like
gonna be brutal,
I really hope people are prepared for the level of physicality that's coming in that match. Because
Mikey's
I'll tell you right
40
now,
pounds of potatoes in a 10-pound bag. We're done talking about Logan Knight. We're talking about this match now.
You got me.
Logan, if you're watching, my bad, man.
You popped me. That was a good one. But no, seriously, I don't know if you've watched some of his videos, but Stefan Remsen is looking to hurt people.
And I've said it every night this week. People. He's going to walk in the ring. He's going to beat you up. He's going to take your lunch money, and he's going to leave. Because when he says he's the ring bully, he's not playing around.
No.
And of course, Reggie Lincoln, they call him Slam God for a reason. If he gets a hold of you and gets the slam, getting up is not going to be easy.
But I'll tell you, man, the two times that we've seen the Art of Royalty, Donovan and His Royal Highness, those two, they don't play. They don't play.
I've got to get this in, emails and whatnot. The Art of Royalty being Donovan Pierce and His Royal Highness King Kizzy. I said it again. Stop the damn emails.
They're very specific.
No, I've been impressed with them. I mean, they came in. They have
when you see them walk in, they have an, how do I say this? An air of confidence. Let's say it that way. That's like the PC way to say conceited as hell, right?
They're very regal.
They are quite regal, and when they get in the ring, that whole regalness, it goes away. They're there to fight, and
Yeah.
that's one of the things I like about it. That's what impresses you. You don't get
Yes.
watching them walk in with that air of being
Yes.
regal is what you get in the ring is not what you
Yeah.
expect from that. So
Yeah.
that's why I enjoy watching them.
Yeah. If you're a fan of lazy kicks and chop fests, this ain't your
This
match.
is not a match for you.
This ain't your match.
Mikey in the chat saying the Art of Royalty has a special it factor. I agree with that. They do have an it factor, and I think that's what it is.
They do.
Is they have that air of confidence, that regal appearance.
Dude, all three of these tournament bouts are gonna slap.
Oh yeah, no questions.
Every one of them.
They're going to be great, and I am here for it. Of course, the one I'm most excited about, our boys, longtime friends of the show, Downfall Cathedral, Ramrock Ryan Riven against the Canadian Pitbulls. Now, how did you get Elias Castaneda and Eric Angel to decide to say yes to this? Because you have history with them. Yeah. Downfall Cathedral has history with them.
Well, and that was the thing. Downfall requested a team. We did some research. They had, Downfall, in the time they've been with us, because they travel so much and they've been in so many different places, we've had recommendations for teams from them for a while. And we were just doing some research and, who we want to contact, And we came across the fact that they've had a little intense rivalry in other places with the Canadian Pitbulls. And I feel like I have an in with those guys. So I called them up and I presented the idea and they jumped on it. They want another opportunity to face Downfall Cathedral. And if they beat Downfall Cathedral, they will officially be in the tournament and they will go to the semifinals.
To face either Code or the Russell Twins. Man, that's a lot. For one, the fact that they're like, no, I'm not taking a bye week. It's fight time. But, and this is something I need to put out there for the chat so they know. If you're watching on Facebook right now, we're still working out some of the bugs on our multi-platform system. So if you're commenting on Facebook, I'm not able to see it here, but the guy's doing the best he can to get those comments in the chat. Like he types them in. But we were talking about this match a couple of days ago, and Ramrock putting it out there that the last time these two teams faced each other, they destroyed the ring.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
So,
Luckily, our ring is reinforced, and we had to reinforce the ring when Sam Stackhouse became the champion. I mean, it is what it is.
We're going to get to that.
And let me tell you, we're going to need those reinforcements because as we still got half a year, dude.
Yeah.
And there's some people coming. There's some people
keep telling
coming.
Me that, man. You got my wheels going. I'm trying to figure out who's coming.
Look, here's the thing. I know that we're about to move on, but I'm going to go ahead and I want to throw this out here. Two things are going to take place on our pre-show, which will be live on Heck Yeah Radio on their Facebook, 5:30. We're going to have an unadvertised lucha match on the pre-show. It's going to be Payasito Jr. versus Morphosis Sr.
Okay.
And I am going to come out on the pre-show, and I am going to show a video and speak to the crowd, and I am going to reveal all of the surprises for equal rights and lefts and headlocks and heat waves.
Oh.
So
get there early.
So, and I'm just telling you, if you're coming to the show tomorrow, if you're going to be at the show tomorrow, bring your debit card, bring something that has some cash on it, because the Battle of the Sexes weekend's tickets go on sale at the top of the show tomorrow night. And when this video plays during the pre-show, I think it's going to absolutely cause the tickets to sell quickly.
And you don't want to miss out on that. Like a lot of people think, oh, well, it might sell out. No, this is not a might sell out kind of thing. We were, J-Reb said he's going to borrow my credit card. You must not want tickets, bro. You ain't getting tickets borrowing my stuff. The last show, Spring Break, it sold out. It was before the halfway point. We had people outside on their phones watching the show on heckyeahradio.com waiting for one out, one in.
Yeah.
So it will sell out. So you will want to get your tickets. But let's keep it rolling here. Our next match being what we were talking about earlier with the Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view title match. Brian Rage Rivera got his, earned his shot at Boricua Warfare to go up against your Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view champion, Chris Watson, Captain freaking Durag.
But he has such a sweet duster, dude.
Yeah, the duster almost saves it. Now, here's the thing with Chris Watson. Stop it. Here's the thing with Chris Watson. Chris Watson is never alone.
No.
Ever.
That's their MO. That's their MO. They run to get they're a pack of wolves.
Chris Watson coming out with Diablo Blanco and Charlie 50. Charlie 50, of course, on the show on Wednesday, had a few choice things to say about my thoughts on Chris Watson, but that's okay. But Brian Rage Rivera not unaware of this. I mean, he's coming out with Deluvio and Baby Samoa, which, that's smart thinking on my side of things, even the odds a little bit.
I will just tell you now, TJ is not too excited about the idea of all those people being around the ring.
I wonder why.
So it is very possible that TJ may end up doing something or saying something. Something may happen that just nips all that in the bud, because he's not happy about it. And he's been flipping through the regulations and the rules and is there any way that I can make this not happen? Like he's not excited about reliving Boricua Warfare, at another show.
Well, and I've been saying it all this week. This is one of those matches where if the referee doesn't keep a tight rein on things, this is going to break down into chaos. No questions about it, because there's so much history between these guys, between Brian and all of La Migra, between Baby Samoa. Iluvio just getting started, but
I will never take away from Chris Watson the fact that as a competitor, he can go.
He can.
He chooses to hang out with really less than savory individuals. And that's the easy way. It's the easy way out. I firmly believe if you exit all of the extracurricular bullcrap, if it's just Brian Rivera versus Chris Watson, I believe Brian Rivera can walk out of there the new iPay-per-view champion.
If it's just those two in the ring, I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I think it could go either way. I'm not going to lie. I talk all the trash in the world about Chris Watson, but I will give him his flowers when he steps between those ropes. He's like an assassin. Outside of those ropes, he's a clown, and he reminds me of Tony Khan, and he's Tony Khan with a duster and a do-rag. But when he steps in the ring, that's a whole different story, and I will stand behind that
every day.
Yeah, I agree.
So without the extracurriculars, that's a hell of a match by itself. Man, I worry about this one breaking down.
Well, we'll see if TJ can nip all that in the bud.
Well,
That's his job now.
yeah, that's not you anymore. That's him.
Nope. I'm big picture. He's day of. I'm big picture.
There you go. So we've got at spring break, Clayton Bloodstone sending a video in to challenge Jeb Bingham, and
Yep.
I happened to be close to that when all that happened, and I said it yesterday. I think it took all of 2.4 seconds for Jeb Bingham to go, yes, I will kick your ass.
Yeah, Jeb's not happy about what happened at Collision Course. So yeah, Clayton threw out the challenge. Jeb's going to accept it. This is another one of those situations like the Justin situation. Clayton Bloodstone is kind of an unknown as far as like his motivations and his intentions.
Right.
The man took a payment to screw Jeb over. And now, out of nowhere, he has asked for a match with Jeb. And of course, because Jeb is a hothead, much like Justin at this point, who has devolved into a hothead, he just said, okay, sure. Like, can we think about these things just for a second before we just agree to walk blindly into a match against a guy that we literally know nothing about?
I mean, and normally I would agree with that, but Jeb's on another level right now. Like, I'm on the other side of this coin, because I feel like while Clayton Bloodstone did make the call out, I think he bit off more than he can chew, and I think he's going to find that out tomorrow night.
And that might be the case. I just think that sometimes these guys need to, take a week, look at some footage, do some research before you just say, yes, absolutely, I will walk blindly into the night.
Well, this is absolutely anger driven on Jeb's part, and our next match is also anger driven. There's a lot of anger, big angry people, a lot of anger at this show. Everybody needs a hug. That's what it is. But I'm not hugging loud. I saw how that turns out. I'm just not happening. But that is what we're going to talk about, this Lost in the Mist blindfold match. Gabriel Alexander doesn't care what kind of match it is. He doesn't care what it takes.
That couldn't have been any better segue from me saying walking blindly into the night.
I tried,
Yes, a blindfold match. Are you kidding? You agree to Asian death. Tacks, chains, trash cans, moves on the floor, moves nunchucks. The guy blinds people with mist. And then you say, hey, I haven't had enough of that. I'd like another plateful, please. What?
No. He took the shirt, ripped it off of Gabriel, and put it in front of his mama.
Yes, he did.
His mama.
Yes, he did. And you don't think that
this is West Texas? You can't do that.
And you don't think for a second that maybe that was a calculated move to get Gabriel Alexander to want some more?
Oh, I have every confidence that it was. No, Lau absolutely I hate to call him a psychologist, but like a psycho part of it, right? But no, I have every confidence that that's what that was. And it worked. Gabriel is just, he wants a piece of Lau. He doesn't care how it is. Now, here's my thing. I've seen blindfold matches, and they're either really, really good or they're really, really not.
I think that the key to a blindfold match, because obviously the heel is trying to, put the baby face in a disadvantage.
Right.
Lau, his whole thing is, he blows mist, he takes people's eyesight away. So, he's saying, hey, if that wasn't enough for you, put this blindfold on. You know, um, it's going to be up to Gabriel to figure out how to get around not being able to see. And if he plays the crowd correctly, they may be able to help him.
And that's something that we had Lilith Blood on Tuesday, and that's something she was talking about, having been in a blindfold match herself, was that if the crowd's behind you, they will help you get to where you need to be. And it'll be interesting to see how that affects this match tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our next match on the lineup, Squared Circle Pro West Texas Women's Championship match. I'm excited about this one. I have loved watching the, I guess you could say, meteoric rise of Misty Marks.
Yeah.
Or I guess if I'm going to do it right, the mystifying rise of Misty Marks. She's so impressive in the ring, and going up against an absolute star like Megastar Angel,
yes,
she shines best when she has that kind of pressure. So this is going to be epic in and of itself.
Well, Megastar Angel recently had a match for TNA, and impressed there. A lot of people don't realize that Megastar Angel is a veteran of Texas wrestling. She was actually one of the founding members of the Smurf Nation in the old Anarchy Championship Wrestling with JC Bravo.
I haven't thought about
when she was going by Angel Blue. When she was going by Angel Blue. So, she took some time off. She came back, and, she's hungry, and she's out there. And so she's going to get an opportunity. It's one of those rare moments where someone's coming in cold and getting an opportunity. But it's been Medusa's mission to challenge Misty. She believes in Misty Marks. She believes in her ability and her she believes in her I'm looking for a word and I can't. She definitely thinks that Misty can have a long tenure as champion. She definitely is buying into Misty's opportunity at longevity. And in order to do that, she has to challenge her. And so she's coming up with all these different ways to put Misty behind the eight ball. And I think that it's a testament to Misty that she keeps knocking it out of the park. So this will be an interesting match. It is the actual main event of Tornado Slam. It will be the last match of the night. Misty's earned that spot.
No question about that. And like I said, this one's going to be epic in and of itself. This has match of the night stars on it already.
Yeah.
I figured I ought to throw some kind of Dave Meltzer or something out there. So
that's another clown show.
Yeah. You ain't got to tell me. I'm Dave Meltzer. Him and Chris Watson.
How are you going to you lumping those?
I'm telling you, you can take Chris Watson, Dave Meltzer, and Tony Khan and have the Bozo Show. That's how I feel about that. And yes, I'm dating myself by saying the Bozo Show, but
which one? Okay, if you're gonna have all three, then somebody has to be Bozo, somebody has to be Cookie, and somebody has to be Wizzo.
See, and I'll let them pick. But what you end up with is Tony Khan and Chris Watson in a slap fight, and Dave Meltzer giving it 5 stars.
I used to watch that show before I would go to school in the mornings, and I always wanted to play the grand prize game like so bad because I was like, I will hit those buckets. I don't know how many times I sent letters in to hope that my name would get pulled out, a little thing. I love the Bozo Show. It was awesome.
Bozo Show was great. I same thing with me. I used to watch it before I went to school. So we've also got the Squared Circle Pro Heavyweight Championship match, the Thunderbird Damon McCullough, the King of Thick Style Sam Stackhouse. This is going to be a fight, and I'm all about it. I've been saying all week Sam Stackhouse can do things that Sam Stackhouse shouldn't be able to do, and Damon McCullough is ready for all of it.
You know, this one's hard for me to call. Uh, Sam Stackhouse is an anomaly unto himself.
Mhm.
He has somebody at ringside for him that is able to plot a course, and that makes Sam even more dangerous.
It does, absolutely.
But in this case, Damo has been privy to several strategy sessions of Nolan Phillips. So is Nolan truly a factor here? Is he gonna play a role, or is he gonna be a non-factor because Damo is already aware of all of the tricks of the trade?
And even if he's not aware of all of the tricks, he's well aware of how Nolan operates. So he's going to be, he may not know what's coming, but he knows something is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to be, I couldn't call this match either, honestly.
It's gonna be a rough one. But when the dust settles, you know, it's gonna be interesting.
Well, whoever wins this match will have absolutely earned
Oh yeah,
the title of Squared Circle Pro Heavyweight Champion.
yeah. Sam Stackhouse will either walk out of Tornado Slam completely validated, or Damo will walk out of Tornado Slam as the new force in West Texas.
And once again, I'm all about it. I can't wait. That's going to be a good match. We've got a match again where the cooler heads did not prevail.
No.
Lilith Blood going up against Veronica Vega and El Gringo Loco, which was not the way that was intended initially.
No, it wasn't. But Lil decided to get all up in her feelings and sign an open contract, which I told her was ridiculous. And sure enough, they got their lawyers in on it, and I'm sure Robles had something to do with it. And
I was just about to say, I'm sure
now,
Mr. Robles had something to do with that.
you've got, thanks to the ambulance chaser, you've got Gringo and Veronica versus Lilith, and there's no rules. Wonderful.
Oh, roll that back a minute. No rules?
I mean, come on.
I know that if I'm going to put Gringo and Lil together, that there should be no rules, but I didn't think anybody else was going to do that.
You know that they're going to do anything and everything, and they're going to find a way to pull out all the stops. It's La Migra.
It is.
So I don't care what parameters you set. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it because as much as the numbers game is a factor, you get Lil with Babs. That's like having a whole La Migra with you in itself.
Well, and that would be true. My question is her having the bat already a tell, and will La Migra show up with bats of their own? I mean,
that's fair.
I don't know. I was not happy when the contract came across the desk because I was just like, this isn't going to end well.
Yeah, this is not going to be good.
And I was ready to just go ahead and sign it, but then the lawyer stepped in and,
Mike on the chat saying, does Lil have backup, you think? And Daddy Boss 74 saying the same thing we're all thinking. We're all thinking it. Damien, maybe?
I would be the most welcoming person in the world if, Damien wanted to do something. But I can tell you, because I am extremely close with Damien, that Damien has made his peace with the fact that he's done.
Okay.
Damien's done. And Lilith chose to stick around. And I know Damien well enough that he's going to let Lilith do what Lilith wants to do. And I think that, quite honestly, unless Lilith asked for his help, which I don't think she will, I think he would feel like it would offend her if he jumped in, So
I wouldn't want to
know.
be him when they got home.
It's an interesting dynamic between the two of them. But I would say if you're going into this expecting that you'll see Damian Blood, you're gonna be disappointed. I would be the most surprised person in the world if Damian showed up.
Well, there you have it on that. I would love to see him, but I completely understand where he's at and what he's made his peace with, and so I completely understand and respect it. Well, we have one more match on the card, and that is Ryan Justice and Phoenix going up against a mystery tag team. And the thing that gets me about this is Nolan is keeping it so close to his chest. You don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I don't know if TJ knows who it is. I'm not sure Nolan knows who it is.
None of us know. We were just told there would be two individuals that Nolan has contracted to take the spots in this match versus Phoenix and Ryan Justice. So I don't know who he's bringing. I'm sure that whatever it is, it will be nefarious and underhanded.
Yes.
And, with the current air right now between Paula and Ryan, I don't know that if I'm Phoenix, I'm certainly not expecting Paula to help. I don't know. This one's going to be interesting because there's a lot of question marks here.
There is. I do like Mikey in the chat says the way you say Nolan has contracted, it sounds like a disease. Oh, I got Nolan.
Well, yeah. Remember how back in the ECW days when Jason would come around, Joey Styles would get hives and he would start itching when Jason was around. Yeah, yep. I could see Nolan being that guy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone a little over our time, but you know what? It's the go home show for Tornado Slam. That's okay. That's the card. I mean, all of these matches, and it's $10 at the door. And you heard Rick, the tickets for a huge weekend of wrestling in July going on sale at the show this Saturday. Get there early and get your tickets. And yes. $10 to get in the door. With that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Rick. Anything you want to say to those listening, those watching, the wrestling world at large? The floor is yours, my friend.
Look, I said at the beginning of this year, this was going to be the biggest year for S.C.P. in our history. It was going to be a legendary year. And this show is a monstrous show. There's a lot of matches, a lot of grudges. There's a lot of conflict. This is going to be one of those S.C.P. shows that when you look back a couple of years, you're going to look at this show and say that was the turning point. That show. There's a lot going into this event tomorrow. Highly recommend that you come out. Highly recommend that you come out early. Highly recommend that you prepare to buy your tickets for Battle of the Sexes weekend in July, because if you've ever believed any of the hype that I throw out for SCP, the July stuff, guys, that's the one to pay attention to, because my Lord. Okay. And you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out all of the surprises tomorrow night. I'm gonna let it all out for the Battle of the Sexes weekend. You're gonna get everything for both shows, equal rights and lefts, and headlocks and heat waves. And as big as that is, we've got Birthiversary in September, the finals of the tag team tournament. We've got Pieces for Quitters in November to end the year with Gauntlet Armageddon. You know, SCP doesn't mess around. Okay?
I can tell.
And the idea here is to give you a product that you absolutely cannot miss. And if you miss Tornado Slam, I don't know how you can, because it's live, Jake's Back Room. And if you're not in Lubbock, Texas, www.heckyeahradio.com. Watch the show. You do not want to miss this. Big things are happening in West Texas, and SCP is at the forefront.
I couldn't agree more with it. And I want to run that one more time. If you are anywhere near Lubbock, Texas, it's $10 at the door. Show up early, get your ticket. You could pay anywhere else in the world, you'd pay $10 for one of these matches. I'd pay $10 just to watch Lilith kick shit out of Gringo. But you're paying $10 for all of this. So get there early. $10. If you can't be there, if you're like my boy J Reb, you're over in California teaching them how to do Texas, then heckyeahradio.com. What you can watch it live there. I'm gonna tell you it's not as awesome as being there in person, but it's the next best thing. So if you can't be there in person, definitely check it out at heckyeahradio.com. Rick, I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. Always a pleasure having you on.
Hey, thank you for doing this. Every show you do this week-long run-up with all these interviews and all these guests, and we talk about this show. We appreciate you guys at the Not Your Average Mark podcast. We appreciate your hard work. So thank you.
Appreciate that. I do want to also say thank you to everybody that's in the chat. Again, get your tickets. You can't miss this show. It's the drug, man. It really is, and it's getting stronger. And you're gonna have to calm that down.
Do you want one more quick tease before we leave?
See what you're doing? Yes, one more quick tease before we leave.
When I make this announcement about equal rights and lefts and headlocks and heat waves, I'm just going to say this. If you were a fan of the women of 80s Texas wrestling, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this announcement.
I see, now you got the gears turning. I have to sleep tonight, man. You can't be getting me thinking about stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I'm going to be thinking about that all night now. Thanks, Rick. Again, big thank you to Rick. Thank you to all of our guests this week. Thank you to, who all did we have on? We had Nolan Phillips. We had the OTB Lilith Blood. We had Charlie 50. We had Paula Fate, Ryan Justice, and of course, Rick. It's always a lot of fun. We enjoy doing this week-long run-up. I will see all of you tomorrow at Jake's, and I'm going to be looking for each and every one of you. If I don't see you, I'm calling you. I'm coming to your house. I'm going to drag you out. We're going to Jake's. So make sure you're there. I will see you there. Until then, I'm Guapo. That's Rick Elsey. We're Not Your Average Marks. I will see you tomorrow. Yeah.